What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we've got a special guest with us again, Mr. Nefarious Comics, Marvell popping in here. Dude, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to get the show started. I'm excited that we got Nefarious. I always get fucked up with pointing on screen here.
I know, right?
We got Nefarious here to hang out with us tonight. It's going to be a good night.
Oh, is it ever? Guys, how's everyone doing in the house tonight? Happy to be here on a Monday night. I didn't know what I was doing today at 3 o'clock, and then Coach called me up. Comic dude on the phone. Hello, how are you? Ryan, can you make it tonight? 6:30. I showed up at 6:30. They showed up at 6:55. You know what I mean? Not going to lie on that.
You guys know how it is.
You should have known never to be early.
Wow, listen, I'm being on time 10 minutes early in my books. So listen, I just hijacked the whole show. Marvell, how you doing over there, my man?
Good. Good to see you again. It's I don't know if you guys are you guys getting the rain down in Ottawa?
Oh yeah, man, we got
coming
it
down.
on. I was out in the bush today.
We're getting it down here.
It just came down, ran to the truck.
Now, listen, hot breaking topic we were talking about backstage. Guys, I need the chat's help on this one. I have a little conundrum about who I should be mad at, myself or another person. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to tell you guys the story. Dude already weighed in, and he's like, Ryan, take it away. You can share this with everyone.
Yeah.
This is what happened last night. The guy, Facebook group, selling some books, right? Low grade ASM 41. There's no money in it for me to buy it and sell it, so I know a guy looking for this sort of stuff. I messaged the guy last night. Hey, what's your best price? Messages back to me. He gives me a price like $325. But he was asking $350 for it. He goes, I'll do $325. In the morning, I go, listen, I just messaged this to my buddy. If you still happen to have the book, I'll get back to you tonight at 6 o'clock as soon as I hear from him, and I'll just buy it and give it to him. So, but he's fine and good with that. So he messaged me 2 hours later. He's like, hey, just wanted to let you know, I got an offer at $350, the full price. I wrote back to him. I go, you know what? Don't let me hold you up. Just go ahead and do the deal. If it's still around, like I'll message you later when I hear from him, whatever. If it's around, it's around. So like 20 minutes later, my buddy messages me back. He's like, yo, I'll take it at $325. I message buddy back, the seller. I go, okay, if it's still available, I'll take it at the $325 you'd spoken about earlier, if that's still good. The guy writes back to me. He goes, well, it's $350 now. $350 now? What are you talking about? I had it sold. You know what I mean? But am I in the wrong there? I'm like,
not at all, man.
Chat, help me out. Who am I mad at? Myself or him?
Yeah, he's trying to price you up.
The buyer backed out, and now he's like, "Oh, I can get it for $350. I want $350." So you know what? His loss. Screw him.
No, I know, but I don't know. Like when I sell stuff, you know what I mean. If I had quoted someone and they're on the clock and we agreed upon a time or whatever, I would go, listen, this guy is going to buy it at this price. You can have it at the price we negotiated for because that was our deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if not, I'm going to move it to him.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. So I've been mulling on it all day. You know, it's whatever. It is what it is. Like, what do I do in this situation? Face, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna have to side with you on this one, man. Like, to be honest, that he agreed to the price. I mean, that's it. The agreement was made. As long as you come through on your end, then that's what happens.
If he had it sold at that price, why is it still there half an hour later? I think he was
right.
Like, shenanigans. It's absolute shenanigans. He can sell it elsewhere for $350 and it is available, or it's yours. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yep, okay, so good. I'm not out of my mind being selfish, but good riddance. The deal didn't go down. You know what else is exciting too? And I like, where the hell were these people back in 1997? Everyone's like, what are you talking about? So I've been texting with this girl from the gym. Okay, there's a beautiful thing, and she was like, we were talking, and she's like, what do you do? I'm like, I sell comic books. And she's like, really? I'm like, no, seriously, I do. And I go, who's your favorite superhero? And she's like, oh, the Hulk. I'm like, oh, the Hulk. I go, you know what? Next time I see you, I'm gonna give you this really cool Hulk book. And I'm like, you know what I mean? And it's funny because any other character, you could pull a David Nakayama foil cover out. You know what I mean? You pull some awesome cool cover. Hulk, like, what do you have? You don't really have a lot because all Hulk's books are like other characters. You know, like Wolverine or whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck. You know what's really cool? Speaking of David Nakayama, when they did those classic homage variants last year, like the David Nakayama ones, or maybe 2 years ago, it was Hulk 3. It was like the first appearance of Titan, and then there was that like neon green David Nakayama.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You know what? So I texted her. I go, look, I have something for you. Here you are. And she's like, OMG, you're so cute. And I wrote back, I go, when have you ever had a boy give you a comic book? She goes, never. And I go, flowers are overrated. And she writes heart emoji. So guys, first of all, where the hell were these girls when I was like fucking 15 years old in high school? Second of all, screw going to the florist. Go to your long boxes and start marketing that. You know what I mean? If nothing else at the Kingpins tonight, you learn The game has changed forever.
Romance.
Yeah.
Dating advice with the Kingpins.
Oh, I love it. That's our new
I think we
segment.
got a new segment coming up here,
Yeah,
fellas.
dating with the Kingpins.
Sounds like
Yeah.
we do.
Okay, but listen. So remember last week when we were on? We were talking about this being like the golden age of this summer's movie releases. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's getting better because, like, listen, I'm probably one of 4 people in North America that hasn't seen Into the Spider-Verse 2 or whatever Spider-Verse movie's out there. I haven't seen it yet. But also now I'm checking my phone. We're getting 1-minute previews for Secret Invasion. That's just on the horizon. Flash is coming out. Everything is coming out right now. This is a great time to be alive. And I know this is not comic related, but if anyone has seen the show Icon on HBO, how about that? You know, entertainment is at an all-time high for the summer.
Icon. I haven't seen that yet. I might have to check it out.
I haven't seen it either, but you're absolutely right on that, man. This summer is packed, and it's never ending. Every week is something.
Guys, listen.
Month is something.
Here's a pre-warning, and I don't be like, listen. Kingpins, like guests that they had on, told us to watch Icon. Let's get the family there. No one under the age of about 34 should be watching this show. You know what I mean?
Darn,
very mature subject matter.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it and say hi to the chat real quick. And first up, we got somebody on the Kingpins account calling out Baker. What's going on?
Ooh, damn.
Next up, hold on, wait. What's this? Archo's test driving the throne.
Archo, what's going on, bro? Hope you're enjoying your vacation.
Next up, we got Hero. Where is Baker? Oh, here he is. Here he is. People camping out for a chance to be first. He's not wrong this time.
Is that third? Third?
It looks like it. It looks like it this time. Let's see. We got Empire in here. What's going on tonight? And that's the Tim Sinkovich 708. Yeah, so close, man. So close. Neighbor to the north, how are you doing? We got.
Oh, speaking of Neighbor to the
Story.
North and Empire Comics, quickly, I have some things coming in the mail. I got a mystery box from Empire's Mystery Box. Sorry, my cat's getting in the way here. I got a mystery box coming from Empire Comics. So if you guys haven't hopped on those, make sure you check out his posts. If he does any more, you can hop on them. So I'm excited to get that. And Neighbor to the North and I did a little trade, you could say. So keep an eye out on the Kingpins account. There'll be either some shorts going up or just another video, and we'll do some unboxings.
Now, is this like the teaser here? Like, is that you're just gonna leave it at that? You're like, right along, that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all you get.
Is it a Nova book or is it a Power Rangers book? Like,
can't tell you. Can't tell you.
You had my undivided attention. I was like, okay, well, what do we got here?
Yeah,
But you know what? It means I have to bookmark the stream, which everyone in the chat should be doing, and tune in that night.
Absolutely, exactly. It'll be here, either this week or next week. So
excellent.
Stay tuned, guys.
Here we go. Next up, we got K-Man. Oh, I got a special message for you a little bit later on. We'll get into that then. See who else we got in here. I see Colin Castle. How you doing tonight?
Mr. Colin, hope you're enjoying your vacation as well.
John's Comics with Kids, thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Yeah, I think I saw.
There's a couple more people popping in here at the bottom.
Yeah, I see David Mason down here.
Hey.
Mag 2.
Mr. Chia Pet, what's going on?
Chia Pet.
In the house.
All right.
I think we got everybody.
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we got a lot to cover tonight. Honestly.
Yeah.
A whole lot. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. We got Mr. Margot here. He thought he was going to be a little bit late, so we don't have to stall for time because he's already here. So we'll go ahead and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and hit the thing. We got to change the graphic on it. Just because we love the theme music, but we do got to change the graphic on it because, again, we got.
Wow, guys, listen, what an exciting week this is going to be. But first off, let's give a big shout out to the man who makes these beautiful slides, our man Left Arrows. Make sure you follow him if you're not following him over on Instagram and on Facebook. Great guy. And this for the week of June 14th, we have an absolutely stocked week. One of the reasons we're late is there was like swear words being thrown about what cover was the best cover of the week backstage. I don't know if we resolved it. Maybe you guys will help us out. So let's get right on into it with the first book coming right up. What do we got, my man? Oh, Venom Lethal Protector number 4. I'm partial to this cover, and let's hear what my man, the comic dude, has to say about it.
Honestly, guys, I'll be quite honest with you. This volume, the last Venom Lethal Protector, they weren't the hottest, you know. But this issue specifically, guys, if you're reading this on screen right now, you already know we're getting a cameo appearance of Dr. Doom with the Venom symbiote. Yeah, guys, it's happening. It's going to look dope. It's going to be great. And we were talking about this book backstage because we were deciding it's only supposed to go to 6 issues. Am I right? But
I think so.
I don't know. It feels like it's going to be rushed. You know,
we're gonna need more Doom Venom. What?
Yeah, exactly. We need more.
Doom, what are we calling him? I don't know what we're calling him yet.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, but listen, how about that for a screensaver? That's my new catchword, catchphrase this week. Awesome screensaver on your phone. You open up your phone, that'll put a little smile on my face. You know what I mean? Hey, how about that? Right? How have they not had like a Venomized Doom already? You know, probably
Right?
one
Seriously.
Doom. Yeah, I know. But anyway, it's going to be interesting.
Seems like a missed opportunity.
Well, no longer.
At least it's happening.
God, Marvel Voices Pride number 1, the Jimenez variant. Our man Marvel is going to take this away. What do you say, my man?
It's another one of the very cool anthology series that Marvel puts out, you know, with the Hispanic ones, the Asian American ones, the African American characters. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Very, very well timed, well themed. So new characters as always. So
Always.
and we get 2. We usually only
Two
get
of them,
1.
in this one.
That's kind of a bonus.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know what's interesting about the Marvel Voices Pride stuff is that it's at such a high price point, and there's literally 42 different variants on each book. Well, maybe not that many, but quite a number of them. So they're not flying around out there. So if anything does hit, and it's normally like first appearances of some characters with like a very cool variant cover, if you can land on the right one, like if you guys remember Marvel Voices Spider-Man last month, where there was that one. What was that one? There was the Virgin, and then there was
John
the
Zhang?
John Zhang.
Yeah.
30, 35, 40 bucks right off the hop. You know what I mean? And it's a great cover. But those Marvel Voices, they're good ones if you can get the right ones.
I think it was a year or 2 ago when they introduced Somnus, and the 1 in 25 was like, I think it reached like $120 Canadian. So,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Because think about how much it costs to get up there. You know what I mean? If you're a retailer.
And that's the thing with these too, because even on if you look at the ones that come out for DC, they almost always introduce new characters, but ones that Marvel has tended to introduce in these anthology style books have seemed to have played a little bit of a bigger role in their mainstream universe. They're making more of an impact. So,
well, 100%. So what do we have coming up after this one?
Stuff we got.
Now listen, Face, I know you're the man to take this away with Spider-Man 2099 over here.
All right. Well, I'll be honest. The series itself, as a read for me, is just kind of okay. But we are getting some new characters, and I love the idea of Carnage 2099. So, you know, I'm a Carnage fan to begin with. So it's cool to get this version of them. And I like that they got them right there front and center on the second print cover, so can't go wrong there. Now,
did you go in on this one? How deep did you go on ordering this?
I bought a couple extra copies just for the Carnage 2099, and then I did get 2 of the second print, so I had an extra of that one too.
Yeah, it's cool, especially if you're a Carnage fan. It's a pretty neat cover, and all the 2099 stuff is I find it it's fun, you know.
It is.
So there may be a little correction here. I see Hero saying that the Marvel Voice of Pride is out next week.
Oh shit! Did it get pushed back?
So maybe just check with your shops, guys. See if it's coming out this week. You know, double check. Make sure you're not missing anything. But thanks for the heads up on that, Hero. Appreciate it. Oh no, he's looking at last year's. All right, there you go. There you go.
All right, there we go.
This week.
And real quick, before we go any further, we're gonna go ahead and bring in somebody else that wants to join us real quick. Mr. Hyper Combo Comics, how you doing?
What's up? I mean, we all know I'm the new comic book the expert in this panel, so.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
What is up, Hyper Combo? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, nothing much, Nefarious. Been a while.
It has been a minute.
And by the way, I'm completely joking, Ryan. If you're not aware, New Comic Book Day is not my jam as much as it is for the other comic Kingpins. So I'm literally.
Listen, I'm a novice to you guys all, man. You guys are the pro. You know what I mean? I'm just hanging out with the cool kids right now.
You're supposed to fake it till you make it. Come on now.
That's the first time somebody's ever said that about me.
Have you seen me articulate on New Comic Book Day? You can clearly tell I'm faking it when I'm talking about some of these books. Just to feel like I'm adding my 2 cents in.
You guys all.
Kenneth, how you doing tonight? And we had Mr. Left Harris himself pop in there.
Oh, Caesar has entered the building.
Doobie Comics, what's going on? How you doing this evening?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Catch him tomorrow.
All right.
Let's see. Next up, we got. Oh, almost hit the wrong button there.
Oh, guys, this is an exciting one. This is one of my picks for cover of the week. Raza just slays it, and our man Dude's gonna tell us all about why.
Oh man. Okay. First off, look at this cover, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. It's Raza. You know he's never done us wrong before. Every time I think Raza, I think back to that Moon Knight issue 7, volume 8 or 9. Just when you stand there in the all white suit. Anyways,
the banana cover
right then and there. Ever since, Raza's never let me down. And this is another one right here, guys. We get an all new Black Panther series. We're gonna get a first appearance. I'm not even gonna attempt the name because I'm probably gonna butcher it and make a fool of myself.
Then you gotta attempt the name. That's the rule. If you know how to pronounce it, then there's no point of attempting it.
Beza? I don't know.
Ask Newbie to spell out.
I'm doing a newbieism right now. Beza? Newbie, you let me know if I'm saying it right or how you'd say it, bro. But it's going to be a great series, guys. They're fantastic covers. And I can tell you right now, I'm picking this up.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this is another cover that looks like a screensaver. You know what I mean? Between this one and the Venom one, I'm like, this is. Give me a T-shirt with that on it right now, please. You know.
I agree, absolutely.
You know,
the extra medium all the way.
The only drawback though is that is a tough 9.8.
That's the thing.
True.
That is a tough 9.8.
This is one of those books that, like, if your LCS probably has like a stack or something, it might be one of those situations where you're gonna have to like pick the best one and then bring it to the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with the price, the price these books are like going for in 9.8 off the hop, because so many people are just getting them graded, you'll be able to pick it up for like $40-$50 US. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's almost more expensive if you buy it to like ship it and grade it yourself to like risk missing.
Yeah, you are kind of rolling the dice in that situation.
Yeah. Okay, guys, what do we have up next? Oh man, this is a cool one. Marvel, tell us why you like Void Rivals, my man.
I think everybody likes Void Rivals this week. I mean, it's no secret about what's happening. Kirkman teased it about this whole interconnected world, and you know, it's the week of, and we find out the big news. Are we going to spoil it?
Well, we got a little slide for that later, so I guess we can get there later.
Sure. Big stuff happening in this. The 1 in 100 is going for absurd money right now, but yeah, I mean, Robert Kirkman, he's got some great stuff out. I mean, he is, Mr. Walking Dead, Mr. Invincible, so it'll be good to see something new and ongoing from him. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like what's Kirkman been on lately?
I think he's writing
Fireball.
Firepower.
I said Fireball,
which is fantastic.
And but look at this introduction of an all new shared universe featuring the Transformers, and you have Robert Kirkman on top of that. Like, if it's like vintage Robert Kirkman, like Marvel Zombies 1 style Robert Kirkman, that's gonna be a heck of a good time, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, what's up next, my guy? Oh boy, yo, Face, what's going on with Spider-Man 8, the second print, dude?
All right, listen, we got Spider-Man number 8, the second print, giving us the second appearance of Spider-Boy. Probably the hottest new character since, let's see, I don't know, what, Tosin.
Yeah.
No, but they didn't capitalize on Tosin like they did with Spider-Boy. They fucking knew what they were. Pardon my French. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They are. I feel like they're definitely going to capitalize way more on Spider-Boy. It feels like Dan Slott already has plans for the character. You know, especially the way he's setting them up in the story and everything. So you know, he's a pretty exciting new character to get behind right now.
Yeah, but when do you guys think Spider-Boy gets his own series? That's like inevitable. That's got to be happening.
Got to be coming soon.
Yeah,
got to be getting ready to drop.
I bet you there's a 1 in 1,000. There's going to be some crazy ratio variance on that, and people are going to order it to that too.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's fun. Do you buy? Yeah, like I bought a bunch of them. You just kind of have to, I guess, and it's visually appealing. Like Miles Morales version 2.0 is basically what it is. And they're like, look at all the elements. It's just they do a good job with these covers. The character, I like it. I think it's cool. Yeah. But moving along, guys, what do we have up next?
Right, next up we got
Static team up NNC #1. I totally almost botched, maybe still did botch that title. Comic Dude, why don't you tell us how to say it properly? And
well, honestly, man, I think you did just as good as I was.
Wait, I actually got this one because I did watch American Gods, so it's Anansi.
Oh, there you go.
Look at Hyper.
That's why we keep you around. Look at that.
See, I'm like the cultured kingpin in this group.
I don't know if we should feel offended by that or not.
Well, honestly, guys, it's Static. What more can I say? You know, Mr. Key Issues got most of us here onto the series. It's just a fun read. It's really good. The artwork's been fantastic through and through. And we're getting another first appearance and cover appearance. You know, brand new character. It's going to be fun. I'm not sure. I think this is just a one-shot, eh?
I think so as well.
Yeah, I believe it's just a one-shot. But, yeah, if you're on the Static series, definitely pick this up as well.
There's been a lot of Static coming out lately. Like they've been keeping him fairly relevant since
they have been, yeah.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, cool.
It's gaining heat, man.
Right.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before he hits the media.
Oh, okay. Now this is kind of fun here. Dead by Daylight #1.
Real quick before we jump into this one, I know we had it set up to I think we had it set up to throw to Marvel for this one, but let's let Hyper jump in on this one because he's a video game guy, right?
He's a video game guy. You got it.
I'm actually disappointed that I knew about this book, but I completely forgot it's actually coming out this week. So
I know there's gonna be some shit like that.
So I hope it's a case where, and I'm kind of worried because this is from Titan Comics. It is a small print publisher, so it's not like this is gonna be like printed in droves. LCSs aren't gonna be ordering these in droves. So it might be a situation where I might have to call ahead to see if my LCS has a copy or two and have the set aside. And I think I could be wrong, but I believe there is a 1 in 10 or 1 in 5 ratio on this one.
Yeah, there is.
You know, if only there was somebody that did a FOC show or somebody would have told you to order this.
Yeah, I know that's on me. That's on
Tune
me.
in Saturdays at noon, Hyper FOC.
I like that.
Hey, listen, that FOC show did help me with that Strange Academy Scotty Young 1 in 25. So that
there
one,
we go.
Yeah, that was on there too. So just saying.
That came in clutch.
But yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm picking this up absolutely. I actually didn't really get into the video game, but look at that cover. Absolutely.
Yeah, Ivan Tao. How about that? They got Ivan Tao over there. There's so many good artists. Listen, I'm always so impressed just with the sheer depth of all these new young artists coming up. Not that Ivan Tao is that new or young, but there's so many good artists out there.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
and
is.
you look at it, you're like, heck, that's great art. And you look down, it's like Ivan Tao, like, man, that's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? What are we rounding this out with? Oh, fun. Marvel, tell us why you like these two books, my man.
It's Scotty Young. You know, he's everyone's favorite. So, I mean, I don't always like Scotty Young's stuff, but you know what? For these two, I can kind of get on board with it, especially with the Battle Chasers one. So, yeah.
It's different than his normal style, I find, that Battle Chasers.
Yes.
It's really dope. It gives me at least those old school Zelda vibes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
You know, the book's coming back after taking how long has it been off for Battle Chasers?
Well, guys, listen, was anyone around when Battle Chasers was coming out the first time around?
Yep.
Okay, no, you're laughing. Listen, Old Man Winter over here, fucking Nefarious. I was around back in the Dark Ages, and I'll tell you what. Okay, this was the worst because Joe Madureira, he was hot. He was just coming off of X-Men, doing very well. Issue 1 comes out, amazing. Then issue 2 comes out 3 months later. You're like, what the heck is going on? Same thing with issue 4 was 7 months. And you're like, oh my Lord, this is the worst. Danger Girl was coming out at the same time. It was a little more regular, but they had some really, really cool variants. There was this Battle Chasers 1, Red Monica, I think her name was, or whatever the girl. Yeah, that freaking thing. Holy Christmas trees. And then over on the Danger Girl side, that's when J. Scott Campbell was just heating up. You had some really cool variants too. But I'm telling you, the schedule, because it was so cool. The art was so vibrant. And hopefully they get it dialed in. But yeah, Scotty Young covers. We were talking backstage too. When I sell stuff live auction, Scotty Young covers always do well. Especially when it's a number 1 for Black Panther with a prime example of the character on the cover. It does really, it looks great.
But here's the really important question, Nefarious. Do you own the ass cover?
No, I wish. You know what? I literally sold my comic collection at the age of 17 to buy myself a leather couch for my apartment for Leon's at the time. It's the worst decision I've ever made. You know what I mean?
I love how you remember the exact details here.
I do, because it was listen, comics weren't really worth a lot back then. So I had all my little comics, and that's what I did for it. It wasn't even a real leather couch. It was one of those pretend ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, where did the girls see this? I got a rear projection TV and a fake leather couch. You know what I mean? It's gonna put me right over the top. Yeah, not so much. Times they were changing,
Yeah.
So what a fun segment that was, guys. A lot of good books. So okay, but listen, chat. Tell us, what do you guys feel is the cover of the week? And Kingpins, you guys tell me too, because I like the Raza, and you guys share with me what you guys were telling me backstage.
Well, real quick, actually, let me go ahead and
let's do yeah.
There we go, because I know what dude's gonna say. So
I'm just gonna say it straight up right now. My top book of the week, or at least for cover. Ooh, there's 2 of them for cover, but top book, I gotta go Black Panther 1 first off, starting a new series again. But the Garson cover, man, I'm biased. I'll say it right now. I'm sorry, guys. He just makes a beautiful collage variants. And, hey, he's not stopping now. I have a whole collection of Garson covers, so I'm going to be picking this one up 100%. I'll probably pick up the Raza as well. So I'll be picking up 2 covers from Black Panther 1. But that Gunslinger 21, I think we were talking about it on our FOC show this past Saturday. None of the Spawn Virgin variants since this one have been as nice. This is he's nice. A cathedral. It's got the stained glass window behind him, and it's a beautiful Virgin variant for your regular $4.99 price. That's straight up cover buy.
$4.99, isn't it? $2.99.
$2.99, $4.99, whatever it is. Pocket change.
All right, Margot. I think you got the next 2.
You know what? I kind of agree with dude. I really do like the Garson Black Panther. But
you're going with the Garson? Okay.
Woo!
Right. But also, I'm kind of partial to the Spider-Man India. After seeing Into the Spider-Verse, he's one of the characters that I found really stood out. So you know what? It's got me a little bit more hyped up for his new series. So yeah, hopefully it's a good read as well. And then the Something Is Killing the Children. What are we on, the 9th print now? 9th or 10th?
I think so, yeah.
9th, yeah.
So, yeah, might be one to check out too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, personally, I'm with Nefarious. I like the Raza cover for the cover of the week. That's definitely my favorite. But as far as actual books that I guess I'm looking most forward to reading, I would say Carnage 14 is probably the biggest one, because Carnage has been fantastic, and I'm just going to keep mentioning it until it's not. And then Moon Knight 24, because Moon Knight's actually started to pick back up for me lately, and I just kind of wanted to mention it since dude didn't, and I could rub it in his face to K-Man. So there we go.
Yeah, well, you know what, guys? Listen, Moon Knight's gonna start getting really good in issue 25. I'm sure it's wonderful already.
Yeah.
But you guys see what's happening in 25?
Yep.
One, it's like a very expensive cover price book. It's probably like $13.99 Canadian or something nonsense like that. A bunch of cool covers, but it's the first appearance of the Red Scarab that was in the Moon Knight series. You have her appearing as herself in the first issue, and then she's getting her own series right after that. So that's pretty significant as well. And I think MCU, like there's rumors that she's going to have a future in the MCU more.
Oh, she's gonna absolutely.
Yeah.
They wouldn't introduce her and create her version of the character as the Scarlet Scarab without having plans for her.
Yeah, so her first appearance is coming up next issue. So whatever, I don't know if they're finishing off a storyline or whatnot, but yeah, Moon Knight's going to be a good one moving forward, I think.
Absolutely.
Spider-Man India too, I think is interesting because, like, if you notice recently, like Spider-Punk #1 has been getting a little traction. You see it hitting some lists and whatnot, and that was a pretty cheap buy-in too.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I really am surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising me if you've actually read it because it's fucking horrible.
No, you know what? But just for the fact that it's, I know. I think I did read a couple issues, but they had that Ozaki like 1 in 50 variant that's doing pretty well. But I think Spider-Man India, I haven't seen the new movie, but I've read that he does have a fairly significant role. Am I mistaken? Spider-Man India in the movie, like there could be more appearances with him. So his first solo, that's never a bad idea just to have a couple just to throw in a box.
It's true. That's true. Even just pick up one, you know?
Yeah.
$5, why not? Not a bad buy-in. All right.
Guys, well, that's the new comic book day news. New comic book day.
Wait, we got to do the outro for it, bro. I love that too.
I forgot.
Love it.
I know, right? All right. So next up, we got. You know what it is. You got to get your papers ready.
CNN! Nowhere close to an actual news network.
All right, there you go.
What's going on over there?
You know about this book?
No. Educate me.
Let me show you something. I learned a little something quick before we hop into the news.
I like this. We got the educational component of tonight's episode.
Samurai #1.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Where's Samurai? Wait, let me open up
the publisher on that.
Here. Who's the publisher on this?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get to here. I learned a little something from my friend Danime, etc. Is it?
My friend Kenny will see his name.
But I just call it Danime. Anyways, he told me a funny little story. I'm just trying to find it here because it is very, very all over the place. I'll find it. But anyways, this book actually was published in Ottawa.
Come on.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I pulled it out of a yard sale. I picked up 2 boxes at a yard sale over the weekend. Great finds, by the way.
You're like, listen, if you are known for picking up these like local area Ottawa finds, like you got one at the comic show, Carlton Place Comic Con. Yeah. Now you're cleaning house over at the yard sales.
Always, man. Yeah, I have a buddy who's huge into yard sailing. Actually, Colin Castle, if he's still in the chat.
Yeah, whoa.
And, I decided to take after him a bit, check out this yard sale. And this guy was moving after 20 years and had a bunch of comics. He wanted $200 per box.
What?
And he said that as I'm looking through the boxes, right? And I'm like, there's no way, man. I'm walking away. I'm absolutely walking away.
Yeah.
And then I started pulling out, first She-Venom, Carnage, Mind Bomb, a couple other, tits and tats there. But
they'll move.
I was like, you know what? I said, I'll buy 2 of your 4 boxes. He's like, okay, so it's $200 a box. I mean, you can bargain if you want, maybe, figure something out. And I'm like, look, I said, look, dude, $200 a box. I'm going to walk away right now. I said, I'll give you $120 for 2 boxes. And he looks at me, he waits a second. He's like, yeah, okay.
He came off that number quick.
Me a box at $200 a box. I got 2 for $120. Like, come on. I ain't no chump.
Well, listen, his plan had more holes in it than a block of Swiss cheese. As soon as he goes, this is my price, but you can barter. Like he's like, here's my price, but he's playing good cop, bad cop against himself. I don't know what what's his strategy here. But good for you. But I saw your post. You had some good stuff out of that.
Hold up. No one picked up on the fact that dude just said that he pulled out tits and tats. What the hell is that?
I mean, we heard it, but we're going to ignore
You
it.
really want to know?
We were trying to be classy for once, Hyper. Goddamn.
Yeah, come on.
I get monetized. Get off of it.
But since Hyper wanted to go ahead and chime in, it gives me the perfect opportunity to go ahead and bring up Mr. Leftero's comment, because this was part of the new comic book day stuff that actually we didn't get. And Hyper, man, where were you on this one?
Wait, did you guys actually had a slide for this one?
No.
Okay.
You were supposed to mention it. That's the point.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's already on my pull list, so it's one of those things that it's just like clockwork. I just go to my LCS and I just expect to see it in my shop. I actually don't know when
Right, I
these
guess that's
releases come. But yeah, and it's actually funny because from the solicitation, it also looks like IDW is going to start doing 1 in 25s for TMNT books going forward. It used to only be 1 in 10 ratios.
Yeah, 1 in 10.
Oh.
Yeah, but now they're doing 1 in 25 because I looked at the solicitations for the next 3-4 issues, and it looks like it's going up to. And the thing is, the 1 in 25s aren't that very inspiring. Like the 1 in 25 for this 140 is literally just the 1 in 10, but just the sketch variant, and they just have the colored headband of the turtles, which it's getting a bit played out. So I'm just gonna stick with the usual 1 in 10s that I normally grab.
Hyper, that's one of the things I liked about Turtles. You know what I mean? Is that there was only a 1 in 10. If you need to go in on it, it's only 10.
Honestly, the thing is the fact that they're losing all these other properties. Like I just heard that they're about to lose Transformers and G.I. Joe to Image. TMNT is pretty much the only, what do you call it, intellectual property it seems like that they're holding on to. So it looks like they're going to milk that cow as much as they can because they know that turtles sell. That's why you're getting all these crossovers. There's a 1 in 50. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, my LCS has a hard enough time. Like they get 1 in 10s just by special request from me because they. The thing is, the fact is, like TMNT, it does sell, but it doesn't sell as well as people think.
Yeah, it's same with back issues. It's like same with Star Wars. You know, it's like you need to be a specific. You have to be a Star Wars collector. You have to be a TMNT collector, and they're out there. Don't get me wrong, but just not as plentiful as like you're a Batman or a Spider-Man guy.
So you were asking about this book earlier. It's by Aircell.
Yeah.
So they were off of Blair in Ottawa in 1985. That's
you know what? I think I heard of them. Like, I
had never known about them either until the anime told me, and I was like, "Damn, that's pretty cool. I got to keep this." And Hero, I would have given him $200 for the 4 boxes if I wanted everything from those 4 boxes. The last 2 boxes, in my opinion, were just junk filler. And I live in an apartment, man. There's only so much room. I have no more room for filler.
And Lefteros, just to your comment about TMNT has good fans, IDW has to be careful though, because yes, like I am loyal to the TMNT like series, but I've seen some of the ratios that they're putting out, like they have like a crossover Strange Academy and TMNT. I'm picking up none of the ratios because basically the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50 is literally just either virgin variants or color swaps of a regular open order cover. It's getting, and the thing is, the more unique covers get into like the 1 in 100s, the 1 in 50s, and the 1 in, so it's like to ask my LCS to order that much books just to get a high ratio. It's asking much, especially when it doesn't really sell much in the first place.
Yeah, like you know what back issues sell for me for TMNT is like the first like 5 or 6. If you get those and like at a decent price point and whatever grade, they'll move. You know what I mean? But as soon as you start getting great, like TMNT 1 will move. Here's another one that sells good. Yeah. This is like the TMNT 4 second print. I just got a 9.6. Our guy Jeff Rothney at Canada Comic Pressing pressed it up. Just got it back. That one kind of moves. It's still getting up there, but like TMT is great. It's just sometimes not as easy to move as some other stuff, I find.
Yeah, they just got to be careful because I'm already kind of souring on some of what IDW is doing with just in terms of it's kind of obvious that they're kind of milk this cow. They can't even hide it at this point.
No.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
there we
go. It's coming.
We were just waiting on Jude to read the comment.
Yeah, fuck.
All
That's
right,
doo-doo,
guys,
baby.
Go ahead and jump into news. Go.
Oh, I'm glad Hyper and Face are here for this, at least.
Yeah, I was just about to say, having Hyper here probably will help a little bit with this because I know he's a fellow wrestling fan.
Yeah.
We got to starting off. The Iron Sheik has passed away. He was one of probably the best heels in the early days. I think of like what was it, WWF back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting with like Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter's the big one that I remember because of the GI Joe sort of tie-in and everything like that. So, I mean, definitely sad to see another wrestling legend go.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's sad, but the thing is, I mean, when you I do follow wrestling not as much as I did back when I was like a teenager and a kid. But the thing is, what I've noticed is like a lot of these wrestlers end up dying way too young than they should, and in a case like this, 81 years, honestly, obviously it sucks that he passed, but he did live a full life, and sadly, that's not really the situation with a lot of pro wrestlers, especially during the time when he was in the era when they were doing a lot of drugs and steroids and all that. So it was very rampant during that time. So for him to actually live to 81, he's actually an anomaly, unfortunately.
Big John Studd, yeah. Tim Sinkovich talking about Big John Studd. He was awesome. But guys, it reminds me a lot of what's going on in the comic, what's been going on in the comic world. It's like that first generation of creators, writers, wrestlers, and all that are now getting to a point that it's just their time. And this is another great, the Iron Sheik. I don't know if anyone followed him on Twitter or anything like that. He's pretty entertaining. This guy,
he's hilarious.
Yeah,
not safe for work.
NSFW, no doubt. But he was entertaining right to the end, and he put in the work, man. He was around from mid 70s. How about that?
Yeah,
damn.
He's actually the first guy that Hogan beat to get his first WWF title run. Like it was actually Iron Sheik that Hogan beat. Actually, here's a story just about Iron Sheik. Apparently, the promoter actually wanted Sheik to actually break Hogan's legs or something.
Really?
Like legit, and because it was like a rival promoter that I think wanted to basically bring in Sheik, but then Sheik actually was loyal to Vince, so he actually stayed true to his word, and he actually did the match, and he actually put Hogan over.
You know what? Do you watch the Darker Side of the Ring?
I've seen clips of it, but yeah, that's some just depressing stuff.
Yeah, or Tales from the Territory, another good one. I love the old WWF.
Yeah, it kind of, I mean, yeah, it's like you watch it as a fan, and then when you go behind the curtains, you're like, oh shoot, a lot of stuff you didn't know happened.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, unfortunately, speaking of depressing, we got one more that's a little bit depressing.
Oh no,
we got. Not more, no more. Maybe. It's getting kind of old to hear about this. We got more accusations against another MCU actor. Regardless of whether it ends up being true, untrue, however it turns out, we don't know at this point. I guess. It just sucks to have to talk about it again at all.
Yeah.
Damn, another. I mean. Yeah, it just happens too much, but it's not just in the entertainment industry or like the movies. I mean, you see it in sports. You see it everywhere. It's something that's occurring way too much.
Yeah,
regardless of how the results turn out.
Yeah, it's an absolute shame. You know what I mean? They're gonna start casting from Amish communities or something, where these people will just be left alone, not bother anyone. These guys have the world served up to them on a platter, and it's a shame. Hopefully, it's not true, just allegations at this point. But between what's going on with him and Jonathan Majors, like, I don't know, this is not good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. No kidding.
I actually made a comment on this on another show how Dana White could probably start his own fight league with all these ex-MCU actors getting ousted for all these assault allegations, because it seems like it's coming out of the woodworks. I mean, these are allegations like you mentioned, so innocent until proven guilty, but it's also that where there's smoke there's fire, right? So who knows?
And like Baker said, innocent until proven guilty, right? And we don't know the full story. We just get the report, and the investigation will take place, and then we'll find out.
Yeah.
I know I'm sure there's more information that'll come down the road. So we'll see how it all plays out. But
yeah,
let's, like the hashtag says, stick to comics and get back to it. So
When is Jonathan Major's court case? Isn't it coming up like next week or something?
I think so.
Ooh.
I think it's
Oh, yeah.
So we got Not My Super Mario Brothers 2.
I hope this is true. I really do.
Too. Off the success of Super Mario Brothers, it looks like they may be putting together a Legend of Zelda movie. Hopefully. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited if they get it together. I would imagine that they'll probably do it in the same, sort of animated style.
Yeah, they would have to. They blew it out of the water with Mario. They're going to do it again. They're going to try to milk this till it's dry with any Nintendo property. We're going to get Zelda. We're going to get Donkey Kong Country in somewhere form. We're going to get Kirby. It's just the possibilities are endless. And if they keep it going, I'm down for it. Everybody is. We got so many Zelda fans out there. Who's to say that there aren't, a lot of Kirby fans out there? They're just going to milk it. And I'm there for the ride.
It's inevitable. I think it's inevitable. Is it this week now? Next week the announcement comes out, a month. It's just coming.
Right.
Listen, the actor's not going to age because it's going to be animated, so it can go on for 20 years if they needed to, just like Mario. And they're just going to start rolling it out. You know what I mean? And build it up. It's going to be a 5-part or whatever. It's going to be huge. Imagine if they do it. Like, guys, remember when Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power came out last year? Just how breathtaking, like, the opening sequence was when they were, like, clawing up there. Imagine the whole movie being like that. You know what I mean? Which, well, it pretty much was for the whole series. But this is going to be wild, I think, whenever it does happen.
Yeah.
Nowhere bound. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that, Tears of the Kingdom came out and on an aging system like the Nintendo Switch that's been around, since 2017, 2018, and that's still one of the top selling games. It's a testament to how Nintendo properties are going to be very much a household name, like more so now than ever. So it's only inevitable that it's going to trickle into television and media. And the thing is, I know people were saying how the question is, like, Link doesn't really have a voice and all that in the games. If you go back to the animated series, he actually does have a speaking role. So it's not
the animated
far-fetched.
Series was fucking atrocious, and nobody
Mario doesn't
recognize it.
Yeah, but look, from a nostalgic point of view, it has its charms. I'm not gonna critique it like I'm some like film major watching these animated series. It's just as a kid, it was just great TV. But yeah, as an adult, it had some holes, obviously.
Like the whole thing.
Well, it's like those 80s TMNT cartoons. If you actually watch some of the episodes now, they don't actually hold up as well.
You sound crazy as hell right now, Hyper.
They don't, but like I said, from a nostalgic
good stuff right now.
I still watch them from a nostalgic point of view, though.
Right, the TMNT fan is having to fight against TMNT.
Hey, listen, I'll call a spade a spade. I mean, I'm a TMNT fan, but I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid if I think that the product is is subpar. So
I think we need to pull the chat and the rest of the panel on this one. Who agrees with Hyper? Classic 80s TMNT is trash.
Hold on. Wait. Okay. Now. Face is doing classic media reporting where he basically twists my words. And I never said trash. What I said was, there are certain episodes in that TMNT cartoon series that don't hold up. I never said the entire series was a write-off. But when you do watch some of those episodes, it doesn't hold up as well, like let's say like a Batman animated series or even an X-Men animated series.
Fair. Well, yeah, that's fair. I mean, you can't really compare.
Yeah, that was a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
But I still watch it. Like I said, nostalgia is a drug. So
how about the neutrinos, man? Those guys knew how to have a good time. You know what I mean? They came cruising in their little convertible from the other dimension. You know?
Yeah.
Where are those guys?
Names? I forgot their names.
The neutrinos, I think. Yeah, I forget their names too. The little shades, the one guy, a little jacket.
Back? Yeah, they did. They just brought them back. I think in the what's the current the Armageddon games that they're doing event that they're
Oh,
doing.
the Armageddon games. Yeah. And
Are you serious? They brought the neutrinos back?
Yeah, they did bring them back.
Oh my lord!
I
think I have those. I gotta go find where those are.
Yeah, they did bring them back. Actually, I just can't. Now I'm kicking myself for.
Jeez,
I know that Michelangelo had a crush on that on the chick, but I can't remember her name.
You guys are changing people's lives one person at a time. You testify. This is great.
And the chat,
but the chat seems to agree with me. The chat seems to agree with me for some of these episodes.
Listen, the chat's allowed to be wrong too. It's cool.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. It really is.
All right, next up we got DC getting a little R-rated. So apparently they are dropping another animated movie, which DC tends to do fantastically, called Warworld. That's going to have more of an R-rated vibe. This isn't actually new though, really, for DC. I don't think, because the what was that movie that they did that ended like their little Flashpoint spinoff universe or whatever?
Oh yeah. The
Trigon was in it, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Trigon War?
No, it was damn, no, it was
Wait, you're talking about the movie where it actually was the adaptation of the Flashpoint miniseries?
It might have been. I think no. I want to say that there was something involved with Apocalypse in it.
Yeah, no, I know the one you're talking about. I just don't know
remember the name of it.
Those are all so good, like just great. All of those.
Yeah, they were fantastic, but it was pretty savage. So, Apocalypse War. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
I had to find the movie.
Is that a two-parter or is that a one-parter?
Well, so the Apocalypse War movie itself was a one-parter, but
and something led into it.
Yeah, there was actually like several movies.
Yeah. There's a whole series leading up to them. Okay, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, they were showing them, or maybe they still do on Teletoon or whatever the Cartoon Network we got is.
Is that like one actual like interconnected world, or it's just standalone movies?
Yeah, interconnected.
Yeah, so the series of movies from apparently I think it was Flashpoint Paradox to Apocalypse War are interconnected. So like everything they did after Flashpoint Paradox, those are all set in their own sort of animated universe, and then Apocalypse War ended it.
Here's my thing about this thing right here though, because we've seen like DC in the animated world do mature movies where not so much like a hard R like a Deadpool or something, like where you've seen like violent deaths and all that, but like, so when they say R, I'm just curious like how. Okay, so it's not a case where it's going to be like gratuitous like language, like
I don't think they're going to show you Wonder Woman's tits, if that's what you're wondering.
I don't think I wasn't going there, but in terms of like
that's where I was going.
I'm just saying.
I'm just curious how far they're gonna go with this R rating, because it's just that like I know Justice League and R rating doesn't seem to jive.
It's gonna be like Invincible, I bet. You know what I mean? Like where it's just like he's like blood everywhere, people getting ripped apart, some people going off. The bad guys killing people.
But you think they'll actually go as far as showing people getting ripped apart? That's what I'm curious about, because like in the comics itself, Justice League, like in general, like even like for some of the more mature graphic content, it's still not as harsh as like, let's say, some of like the Invincible stuff you saw in comics. So that's why I'm just curious how far this R rating actually is with this animated movie.
Yeah,
I mean, they were pretty savage in Apocalypse War, so you definitely.
That was good. Like it was good, man. I should go back and watch those again.
All right, next up we got. We spoke about this a little bit earlier for a second. The Not So Secret Invasion is getting ready to begin.
That's right around the corner. That's just wonderful.
A little over 2 weeks. Right?
Now, guys, listen. I'm just gonna stop this here. Do you guys remember how exciting it was when like WandaVision was coming out? Like that's all you're talking about all week. When Loki was coming out, when all those Marvel shows were starting to roll out, and every week a new episode kind of came out. And like great shows, take nothing away from them, but like kind of wasn't really so into it with like She-Hulk and like Miss Marvel. I want something to bring the excitement back. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I agree. We need that excitement back.
The good old days. The good old days of.
I think this might bring it, man. This is gonna bring the thriller kind of suspense mystery look, or at least that's what I'm hoping. That's what I've seen so far, and it'll give you something to look forward to every episode to come out. There'll be a bomb dropping at the end of each episode or a cliffhanger.
Who's a Skrull? That's who they're going to bring people back. But do you remember that when the comics came out, Lionel Yu was drawing them, and it was just so dark and gritty, and the Illuminati miniseries led right into it. Yeah. I was so into that. I thought that was just the coolest thing. When that omnibus came out, I was like, yeah, give me one. I'll probably wear it out. But anyway, it was just so cool. And I hope they kind of transfer that dark and grittiness of Lionel Francis Yu's artwork into like the show. And based on what I see, it's kind of like Nick Fury's like underground. You know what I mean? Going underground. You don't know who the Skrulls are. They're all popping up everywhere. Yeah. I have big hopes. Big hopes.
Fingers crossed. Here's a hoping.
I'm excited for it. You know what? I had low expectations with Falcon and Winter Soldier just because I'm like, well, what can you do with, like very street level characters? So that's what it made me like. I thought it was like one of the better shows.
Yeah, that was good. Really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, same thing. I mean, I don't have very high expectations. I mean, I'm going in knowing what the story is. So to see what they do with it is going to be really good. So, yeah.
It's just that like with all the recent, and I'm just sticking strictly with Disney Plus. I'm not talking about like the Star Wars universe stuff, just the actual comics Disney Plus series. They've been decent, and like nothing, like I wouldn't say any show has actually been terrible. They've all been decent, but nothing really, in my opinion, blew my hair back. Although I don't have much hair, so I don't know. I mean, this series, I mean, I'll watch it day one, but I'm taking a wait and see approach basically with this one.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really good. I love Samuel L. Jackson's take on Nick Fury every time that he's been involved in anything. For the most part, I do think, though, ultimately, we're essentially looking at probably a really long commercial for what's going to end up being the Kree-Skrull War.
Hey.
Which that wouldn't be a bad end result.
Well, that'd be tremendous.
Yeah, but I think if they go that route in the end, I would definitely.
Okay, so who do we think they're gonna birth? Like, what characters are gonna make their first appearance in this? Because there's gonna be a couple first appearances, whatever. Who do you think? One, who do you think the Skrull Queen's gonna be? Because there's no Spider Woman. You know what I mean? Like that's who it was. The spoiler alert, I guess. Right. Two, what characters do we think are gonna make their first appearance in this show?
Well, wasn't there that gift spoiler of Amelia Clark?
Abigail Brand?
Yeah, being Abigail Brand and stuff like that. So
okay, well that's cool. Yeah, that's who she's gonna be, Abigail Brand.
I thought it was, wasn't it? So
I think they were going with Gaia, aren't they?
So she's going with Gaia, but then there was that it was the gift leak from like tenor.com or whatever. And when you type in Amelia Clark, it comes up Rankier. It was something like that, but I think they spoiled the character, or they're going to do their, MCU amalgamation type of character, perhaps. So,
with the Meet the Skrulls #1, the character. I mean,
she's a shapeshifter, so why could she not take, a new personality when she kind of either betrays all the Skrulls and wants to start a new life, or betrays all the humans type of thing. So, I mean,
by the end of it, if she sticks around, she's a Skrull. Actually, that idea does kind of has some merit there, Margot. Like, she's a Skrull in the MCU, of course, but in the comics, I mean, Abigail Brand is half mutant, human, half alien. So technically, she just changes form to take on a human form. I could see the MCU.
I could see that
like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we get season 1 Game of Thrones Amelia Clark, if you know what I mean. The golden age.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think you're gonna get that much nudity though in this season.
Yeah, it's a shame. We could always hope,
Yeah, initially I believe she is supposed to be Gaia though. I don't know. Have they actually said? Do we know for sure if Ranky's showing up in this, or
Not
maybe they'll
confirmed.
take a different route with it?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think they said it's like a rogue faction of Skrulls, right?
Wait, any smoke to the fire with the whole? I know that Meet the Skrulls series was kind of popping for a bit because there was rumors that some of those cast characters in that family was going to show up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
was
could
with
see, like,
Emilia Clarke.
I could see a cameo or like a nod to them, or even some kind of a supporting role, minor supporting role, just to kind of test the waters. I mean, they sort of did that with Agatha Harkness, and look, now she's getting her own series.
Yeah,
They threw her into a
Hand was
supporting
just
role.
so great.
Yeah, exactly.
he
So
killed that role.
yeah, maybe if they get a little family together to play the Warners, and they throw them in there for a couple episodes or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. All right, so
I think we have one or two more.
yes, there we go.
Two more. This was a slide I was missing. Base, by the way.
Yeah, I got you on it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got, thank the maker, we are getting the return of the Ultimate Universe, which has been gone for a few years now. Ironically, it's being written by Jonathan Hickman, who technically destroyed the Ultimate Universe with Secret Wars, but really we all know it was Jeff Loeb because Ultimatum sucked.
Yeah. First of all, did you guys read all the Ultimates and all the Ultimate Universe stuff, especially the early stuff?
I did not, but I know
Not all of it.
It's
but
so
fantastic.
good. The main
stuff.
stuff, like Ultimates 1, Ultimates 2, Ultimates 3 gets silly. Ultimate X-Men's good, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Ultimate Fantastic Four was great as well.
Ultimate Iron Man was fucking out there.
Yeah, well, a lot of it was, but I really enjoyed the Ultimate stuff before it just went to hell in a handbasket. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When they started, like when Blob's eating Wasp, like Ultimatum.
Ultimatum,
Then everyone gets killed off, and you get all these weird characters coming in. It didn't go too well at the end. But if there's another Ultimate Universe, letting creators kind of have their way with some of the characters and seeing what may develop, like the good old days, I think it could really be a good thing. Like, not that, like, imagine if like Tinian came over and got, like, I don't know, Fantastic Four, and they're like, just go have fun with them, do whatever you want, and he's like, sweet. If we could get some really cool stories with some really cool creators and characters, and artists, because that was the whole plan with it back in the day. Like Mark Miller and whoever else teamed up on the Ultimates, it was just a great time.
Well, the fact that Hickman is one of the guys that's on the helm to reviving this Ultimate Invasion, you can expect a lot of Venn diagrams, flow charts, a lot of that stuff,
right?
Populating all your issues, and I don't think you'll have an issue in getting your money's worth in terms of, because we always joke about how sometimes comics are a breeze to read for some of these newer issues where you could read them in like 5 minutes. That's the thing that I did like about Hickman. I know people say that he's a bit too wordy sometimes, but I do like the fact that he does, put in some thought into some of the dialogues. It's just that, like, personally, some of his like exposition-y stuff, like with the actual like like when you get away from the panels and the actual, his text pages and all that, it can be a bit much. So I don't know. We'll see.
But listen, talking about getting your money's worth, have you seen the cover price on issue 1?
No.
I'm guessing what is it, like a $6.99 issue?
$6.99 multiplied by 2 plus $2. It's like crazy.
Wow.
It's like $14-15 on it.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes. Someone, Chad, help us out. Tell us the cover price on issue 1, because FOC was just a little while back, and I remember.
Why is it an oversized issue?
It's got to be an oversized book, but then they have like a Miles Virgin foil variant as well that was open order.
Oh, with the red background there.
But it was like a foil. It was like a silly cover price. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And then there was like a 1 in 25 on top of that, and you're like, the 1 in 25 cost is going to be $400 just to order it.
So that just means Hickman's probably just going to be adding pie charts and other stuff now to his.
Yeah, that's where you get a calculus textbook.
It's exactly. It's going to look like an algebra or calculus book.
Yeah. But I like. Listen, how about the Maker? I like the Maker. I'm glad the Maker's like kind of being relevant. They've had him kicking around doing like weird stuff lately.
Right.
He could be a force to be reckoned with, like a young evil Reed Richards.
Yeah. he's going to be one of the best characters, I think, in the probably the relaunch of this universe.
It's just that, like, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say he's going to be like the Doctor Doom type character.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be something kind of interesting with him because so they're relaunching the universe, and I mean, obviously you've got him front and center right there on the cover, so you know he's going to play a part. It's his universe, so he's going back to it. So I guess we're relaunching from where it left off instead of a reboot, or
he creates a whole new universe, and there's like shenanigans that like brings it
right.
up.
That's what I'm wondering.
But that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen. Like, it's nice to have like one condensed world. Like, so what are the implications of this? Are we just doing a 5-issue mini, and then they go off onto their own world, and that's the end of the story, or like is this lasting, or is it?
I think it's lasting. I think there's.
I can't imagine this being a 5-issue mini, especially it seems like Marvel, when they bring on Hickman for these things, it seems like they have a bigger plan. But I mean, actually, that was going to be my segue. My concern is like how he had a certain vision, I think, with the whole X-Men, after the Krakoa situation, and he didn't actually end up executing it because Marvel, I guess, had other plans. So I'm just curious how, if this, like, what's the long-term game with the Ultimate, universe, with Hickman?
More than likely, it's probably to launch this, which will probably end up being a mini series, 5 or 6 issues, and then into like a relaunch of, I don't know, it looks like what, 1, 2, 3, at least 3, maybe 4 different series there.
Yeah, Ultimates.
They're gonna do. Yeah, they're gonna do Ultimates and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they have to.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll do Ultimate.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
who's Ultimate Spider-Man? Who's gonna be Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, like how's that working? And then potentially Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Fantastic Four, which again, Maker and how that's gonna work. So it'll be interesting to see how they flesh it out.
Yeah.
Looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, so keep your eye open on this series for first appearances of all these new characters. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. Who's going to populate these books?
Right.
What characters are they? They have to be making their appearances here. Yeah. So it only makes sense that Marvel's juicing the price up on us, and then it's going to be just peppered with a litany of these new characters.
So help the shop that has to order these to get those ratios. If you're telling me it's like $14.99, I mean, I'm sure obviously they get it cheaper, but still, I can only imagine what the ratio prices are going to be for this kind of series.
Yeah,
too much. All right, last up we got. Let's see. Speaking of a universe resurrection, Transformers and G.I. Joe. It has finally been announced are coming back. I don't know if it was actually announced or just the news broke. I'm not sure. I know they were kicking around rumors of them being at Image Skybound, and yeah, that's where they're ending up.
All AOA, listen, AOA, Ultimate Pace Pot Pete. There you go.
Right.
That deserves front row center.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, this is crazy though. This news. I want to say I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I just can't see them mixing. I know that they've mixed before. We're getting Transformers 1, Cobra Commander, and all that. It's all going to be an Image. It's going to be fantastic. But once they start mixing in again, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for me at least.
I'm on the same boat. I mean, like, it's just going to be weird. You're going to have G.I. Joes running around and Transformers, and then they're going to merge, and they're going to be the G.I. Joe Trans Power Ranger formers. Like,
literally.
I mean,
I'll give number 1 a read, but you know what? Before even all the news came out, I'm like, I don't really like sci-fi type of robot, type of spacey kind of shit like this. So, but I mean, the whole shared universe, I mean, with titles that we know, I mean, that's what makes me want to give it a shot, but I'll probably read number 1, and that's because everyone else is, and that's probably about it. I'm not really looking forward to much else.
Right. Yeah, okay, $8.99 US cover, and I think the foil's $9.99 US cover. So you do the conversion, and you're about $18 Canadian.
You know what? In that case, if I just want the foil, I'll just hold up my regular copy to the light, and I'll just light a flashlight on
Yeah,
it,
that's
and there's my
crazy.
foil.
Make sure you leave it in the light for about a week, direct sunlight. Let me know how
Yes.
that turns out.
So then it looks like a Bronze Age comic at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is great news, and it's just a wait and see approach. I hope Skybound does great with Transformers. You know, the series on their own will be great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know how I feel about them mixing.
I'm torn on it, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I was actually reading both of. There was more than one Transformers series going on at IDW. You know, obviously they had a couple. I think they had 2 series going on at the same time, actually, and a couple of tie-in miniseries. G.I. Joe, for the most part, had one main run at IDW, and they were actually both pretty good. So it is kind of sad to see them having come to an end, you know, especially when they were still, you know, solid. But it's Kirkman, and I do like pretty much everything that I've read from him. I don't know how much input he's going to have in the individual series or the universe overall. Hopefully it'll be at least some.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
But-
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Ivor.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you like you mentioned, Face, like whenever the name Kirkman drops, like in terms of a new project or something, people do pay attention because he's one of those.
Yeah.
He's one of those creators in comics that has that gained that notoriety. You know, obviously through his Walking Dead and Invincible and all that, and then Firepower. I almost said Fireball again. Firepower, maybe not that didn't reach that same height, but I remember when that series first launched, people did pay attention because Kirkman actually, in terms of comic creators, he does do a good job of marketing his product out there on social media and all that. So he will get the buzz going for this, property, no doubt.
Okay,
How,
so
how many
go ahead,
issues
go ahead.
deep was Walking Dead before it got a TV series? Just out of curiosity.
Wait, say that again.
How many issues deep was The Walking Dead before it got a TV series?
70-ish, I think.
70, yeah.
It was
So-
far.
We're still pretty young in face power or firepower.
Face power. Someone's trying to get their own series.
Right?
Comments of the night. Face
Yo,
power.
guys, listen. Here's a classic Robert Kirkman series. Has anyone read The Irredeemable Ant-Man? Or chat? You guys read this at all?
Yes.
Oh my God, how awesome is that series?
It was pretty good, man.
You know what my favorite is? The cover where he's sitting. You cannot get away with this these days. This is a good old like
No.
early 2000. You know the one I'm talking about, where he's sitting on the shower curtain watching like Miss Marvel shower.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I went. It was like the Hunt for Red October. Me going through bins like 3 months ago trying to find that issue. But
Wait, was that a miniseries or an ongoing?
Oh, this was a mini series from like 2003 or no 2006
okay.
probably.
Oh, shit, eh?
And it was basically the story. I think the character turned into the Black
Eric
Ant.
O'Grady. Eric
Yeah,
O'Grady.
Eric O'Grady steals an Ant-Man suit from the Shield helicarrier, and then shenanigans ensue. Basically, it was like that's the series with Robert Kirkman at the helm. It's like, what would you do if you were like a two-bit criminal who's been in and out of jail, and you got this suit, you don't really know how to use it, so he's like going in and out of places, like funny stuff,
Perving on
but
chicks.
good.
Yeah.
I will always have respect for Robert Kirkman for publicly calling out Nick Spencer on his ASM run. For that, Robert Kirkman has my appreciation because usually I know there's an unwritten rule, I'm guessing, among creators that you kind of respect the work, but he publicly, because I guess he also has a friendship with Spencer, but he did actually denounce that whole series that Spencer is doing, and he thought that it could have been more. So
Really?
yeah.
That's wow. You know what? The reason I'm getting all excited, I just bought the 2 omnibuses of that. You know what I mean? The Spider-Man by Nick Spencer one, and then the Spider-Man Beyond.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it represents a fun time. I remember when I was coming out, I was big into Spider-Man. I was all excited because the art was so nice. It was done by, I forget the artist, the guy that did Invincible. Was that Nick Spencer?
Ryan
Ryan Otley, yeah. And so just the cover to that, the number 1, I was like, this is just so awesome. And Oddly does a great job in all of his stuff.
You know what one of the biggest problems was that Nick Spencer went from Superior Foes, which was fantastic, into Spider-Man, which was not anywhere near as great. But it was because, you know, Superior Foes, you knew that was going to be a miniseries for the most part. And Spider-Man was an ongoing, so he had to stretch the story a lot longer, and I think that's where the problem came in.
And speaking of Superior, you see how they said, I read somewhere they're bringing Superior Spider-Man back. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely loved Superior Spider-Man. I think it's the coolest thing. Is there an omnibus for that? Maybe someone can help me with that.
I would assume there should be. I mean, look,
there would have to be.
I think so. It probably came in a print like 4 years ago and hasn't been back in print. Some guy's asking $600 for it on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen, if Marvel has the gumption to do an omnibus for the Spencer run, I would hope and think that they would have a Superior Spider-Man omnibus. Because my issue with the Spencer run is this: it was, on face, you might agree with this. It was almost evident that they were almost going through the motion with some of these issues, and they were just getting to that issue 850, like those milestone issues, like certain storylines that could have been wrapped up in a few issues. It was almost clear as day that they're just trying to bloat it as much as possible just to get to those milestones.
What issue did Kindred show up in again? I forget.
Issue 1. Well, he appeared in issue 1. That's how they launched the whole thing. Oh, there it is.
Okay,
hardcover, $156. Yeah. Is that just being solicited right now?
It's on Amazon.
It's not on pre-order, is it?
No, it's not. It's already out.
Oh wow! Well, thank you very much. There you go. This really is the Kingpin.
Oh no, releases July 11th.
Oh, right around frick! It's right around the corner. You know what?
Yeah,
you got to keep my eyes open because that's probably going to go on sale. How did I not? How did I have the Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer Beyond Omnibus on order and not this one on order?
I don't know. The weed must be good in Ottawa.
You can ask these guys what I was doing in the green room. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay, where were we, guys?
Just
talking about weed. Actually,
we'll move on to the next our next topic tonight. Then,
yeah, I was just going to go ahead and say that we might as well go ahead. And the last bit that we got since we finished the news slides. So,
smooth. That was good.
All right, we got a couple trades tonight. First one up. This is a big one.
Ooh,
that's just
a little bit savage.
This is just mean
for reasons. Yeah.
Oh, Hyper says this is mean. Guess who's going first?
We've got Fantastic Four number 4, the first appearance of Namor in CGC 3.5, going up against Avengers number 8, CGC 8.0, first appearance of Kang. And they're both around the $2,500 Canadian mark, it looks like. So somewhere in there.
I mean, given the fact that say that again, what?
Who you got more faith in, Hyper?
Well, okay, I'm gonna go strictly just based on comic characters. Like with properties like this, you can't bank it on the MC. You got to go with the character that you feel has the richer history and all that. And just in terms of the actual value of the comic itself, the thing with the Avengers 8, even though it is an 8.0 versus the 3.5 Fantastic Four issue, the thing is, I do see that Avengers 8 a lot more frequently at LCS's walls than I do that Fantastic Four issue. So for that reason, in terms of the scarcity situation, I'm going to go with the Fantastic Four issue.
Damn. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This is
Hero's
so
got
tricky.
a point.
Yeah, okay, so this is tricky. First of all, Avengers 8 last year was in an 8.0 was like 4,000 US or give or take. I remember that. Everything's come way down. But the Fantastic Four 3.5, if that's still around 2,500, I think that was probably a $3,000 US book last year. It's just I'm so shocked that Avengers 8 8.0 is down at 2,500 right now. Mind you, I shouldn't be with just the price of it being.
Yeah.
I love Fantastic Four through and through. It's not Namor's first appearance though; it's his first Silver Age appearance. I actually remember buying a 3.5 at Ottawa Comic Con in 2012 for $400 Canadian.
Wow.
That's what cheap that book used to be. I was like, oh, cool. First Silver Age Namor. I think just because I've really been enjoying the movies right now. Okay, first of all, I think easier book to sell, 100% Fantastic Four #4. What book do I think I would like? I would kind of find nifty right now. Well, because I don't own one, Avengers #8. I think I'd rather have the Avengers #8. No hate on a Fantastic Four 4. Most people that know me, they're like, are you drunk? You love Fantastic Four. I do. But in this case, Avengers 8.
Oh, before Marvel goes, I do actually own an Avengers 8, but it's a coverless copy, but I paid $30 for it. So
That's good.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, not at all. All right, Marbell, where are you at on this one?
I would go Avengers 8. It's an easy pick for me. I like Avengers more than Fantastic Four. I mean, they're both early issues and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if you got to choose your king, I mean, it's always got to be the Conqueror is the one that people mostly go for. So that in an 8.0, I mean, yeah, I kind of got to go for it. And the Fantastic Four cover is a little weird looking. So yeah, I'd go with the king.
All right. I got a question I want to ask everyone in the panel here and everyone in the chat. I want your honest answers. Is anybody here an actual, and I mean an actual fan of Namor? Like,
Yes,
you read
dude.
Namor comics. You.
I think you're gonna
follow
ask Kang. I think you're gonna ask if anyone's
No.
an actual fan of Kang.
I legitimately have Imperious Rex tattooed across my chest. Like what? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show everyone. Okay? No, I 100% do. I 100% do.
Oh,
Hang on. Where are we here?
Put it on the big
Right,
screen.
right,
Put it on the big
right.
screen.
Wait for it.
You know what?
No,
There you
Oh,
go. Imperious
there
Rex
it
right
is.
there.
Let's go.
This is what happens on the Kingpins channel after 8:30. You know what I mean? Isn't it?
Exactly.
8:36 comes along. Guys are taking their shirts off. What kind
We're
of
about to
program
move
you
to
running?
OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, guys, OnlyFans, link in bio.
That's good.
I got
All
my shirt
right,
on.
all
inside
right.
out now.
So I take that back then.
He's like gonna mock whoever. He's like a Namor fan.
That was my whole
Right.
point, my whole discussion. I'm just not a fan of Namor. I never have been. I don't like his look, especially, like old school Namor right here with the block head. And it's too much for me. I'm going to go for, an actual first appearance and take the 8.0 of Avengers 8.
And Namor's a dick. Like every time I read a book with him, he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
No, but
man.
that's-
Kang's not exactly
deal.
a saint either.
Like, cool,
You
though.
make it sound like Kang's like.
That's why Namor's okay. So first of all, I was gonna go ahead and just flex a little Namor knowledge on dude, but to show that my fanhood, but I don't really think that I can compare with the Imperious Rex tattoo.
Oh yes, yeah, oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was a little rambunctious when I was younger. You know what I mean? I identified with him.
Hey, I like it, man. Namor is a dick, but that's part
That's
of
his whole
why the
appeal,
people-
though.
Yeah, that's part of why the people that like him like him.
Fair.
So it is a tough decision for me. I would probably lean towards the Kang just because of the condition. The 8.0 is pretty nice, for that age of the book. The 3.5, I mean, again, if it presented really well, I'd have to take a little more consideration into it, I think, for sure. Especially because you don't see those anywhere near as often as the Avengers 8. So if it was a really nice 3.5, I might actually go with the Fantastic Four #4. But more than likely, I'm going to side with the Avengers 8.
Looks like I'm alone in this.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because look at Namor. You know
on the fence.
people would be like, "You guys got to keep your eye on Namor. He may make off with your woman." Legitimately, there you go. You turn your back, and he's like wheeling her down the street. You know.
And it's funny you should mention that because it's all interconnected because in the Ultimates, I can't remember which series, one of Kang variants was Sue Storm.
Oh, really?
That's not creepy at all.
Sue Storm was revealed as the Ultimate Universe's version of Kang. I can't remember which. I think it was actually Ultimates, one of the volumes. But Sue Storm revealed as Kang, and there was actually a first cover appearance of Sue Storm as Kang.
I think I remember that actually. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how you guys were talking about
was,
Ultimates before, and
It
then
was the
Namor
universe where
Kang.
she ended up. Yeah, it's Kang. Yes. All right. Well, next up, we got some old school stuff from, I guess, like what, the early 90s. These were probably coming out. So we got
92. I bet you 92, 93, somewhere in there.
right around there. So and I put these on here just for you, Nefarious, because you like Scud last week.
Oh, you know what? I love it. And I'll tell you what, I'll go back to last week as well. I'll say when I was young and I was, getting together all my, lawn mowing money in the summer and snow blowing money in the winter, I would buy Wizard the Guide to Comics, and you would read about these books and like Lady Death. They were big deals back then. And that Vengeance of Vampirella, that is not only like just a perfect 90s cover. That's my pick right there. And the foil is where all the red is on that cover. And like, beautiful.
Are these both foil covers or?
Yes.
Yeah,
Lady Death is like Lady Death is actually chromium. It's a chromium cover. Vengeance of Vampirella 1 is foil where the red is, and really neat.
Yeah, so Lady Death is
I'm gonna go with the Vengeance of Vampirella then. You know what? That's pretty damn cool. For no other reason.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just Dan. Just comment of the night there. That was good. That was good. He's not wrong.
Guys, you know what? It's a mixed bag here. Mixed bag here on the Kingpins. Clock strikes 8:30. All bets are off.
Who's to say he doesn't have 2 Imperious Rex tattoos?
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. I didn't show you the Kang tattoo. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's great.
The whispering eye.
Damn, yeah, these are some old school comics. I was not collecting back then.
Were you alive?
I was. As most of you guys know, I actually just started collecting as the pandemic started, and just took off from there. But I'm a big foil guy, so this one's a tough one for me. But just from what I can see, because I haven't seen these in person, I have to go with that Vengeance of Vampirella #1. Just that spot foil with the blood splash.
It's beautiful.
It looks so nice and dark, like scarlet.
No, it looks really, really nice. Like, it's beautiful. Take nothing away from Lady Death. You know what I mean? The chromium's nice, but like just the contrast so nice. And like, just look at her, what she's doing. You know?
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm going with that all day.
All right, Hyper, where you at?
I don't know. I mean, I tend to go with covers that are not as busy. For me, it's usually like the less is more concept. So I'll stick with Lady Death. Like I said, I don't really have an affinity to either one of these properties. It's just cover alone. I'm gonna side with the Lady Death cover. I like it a bit more just because it's not as busy as the Vengeance of Vampirella one.
Hey, Hyper, it is okay to be wrong from time to time.
Yeah, but you know what? There's not a bad slice of this cake over here.
No.
There's no losers here.
No, there is no wrong answer. It's all just for fun.
And I think you get like, okay, so in Lady Death 1, it is her first solo series, but I believe there's like also the first appearance of like her human alter ego or something originally, and then like the first appearance of some other minor characters or something like that. Vengeance of Vampirella, I think, has like first appearance of some minor characters. They're both, cool characters that, well, Vampirella existed way before the 90s, but she really just kind of made a return in the 90s. Lady Death first popped up, in the 90s, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Ernie. I think her first appearance was in Evil Ernie somewhere in there.
Evil Ernie 1, yep.
And then Vampirella, like those old Warren magazines with Vampirella, like with the prosthetic covers, guys. I don't know. They're getting some major heat these days. Well, they have been for a little while. It was always kind of like a niche sect of collectors that were into them. Mm-hmm. But like a Vampirella #1, man. Like some of these covers back then, the painted ones from the 70s, 70s horror, really, really hot right now. Vampirella is a really neat character, and then there's a bunch of new Vampirella series coming out lately. Have you guys seen some of those covers they've been doing? They're just beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they always are, man. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to side with Vampirella also.
Yeah.
I mean, just the spot foil effect is cool. I mean, the chromium is nice, But you can get both of these really cheap at this
Yeah,
point.
well, I think Lady Death, like I think I sold a couple at $40 lately, somewhere in there. You know what I
Nice.
mean? It's like the same. It reminds me of like Witchblade #1, same kind of idea. Characters look very similar.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Vengeance of Vampirella #1. I would guess it's got to be around the same price, somewhere in there. 40
Yeah, they're
bucks,
not bad.
$50.
Yeah, I can see it sitting around there. I've never seen one for sale. I
It's
haven't
a
bought
thicker
one.
cover too. It's a thicker cardstock cover. So like when shit goes wrong with it, it goes really wrong. You know, it's not just like a little minor tick. It's like meh.
Yeah, you see the whole thing.
Yeah. So you see, there's a lot of them in good condition out there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got one more trade.
One more.
Big one of the week. Which property
How
are
often
we
has
at?
this the
Taken.
Zelda book seems to always make a frequent trade center appearance? I find.
You know what? Yeah, we were actually
topical.
we were talking about that. It does pop up on here a couple times. It's relevant this week though because we got the potential Zelda movie, and then we got G.I. Joe, which is I guess relatively comparable in price. Kind of getting some attention with the shared universe over there and everything like that. Some other spoilers that we don't want to put out there or anything. If you manage to dodge them somehow. So yeah, that's what you're looking at. First appearance of Link, first appearance of Zelda. I think Ganon was in there too, actually. Again, it's the first appearance of there's a shit ton of G.I. Joe characters.
All of them. All of them.
Well, no, not necessarily all of them, because
No.
throughout
Yeah,
like
no, there's
the
definitely
first,
a lot later. Yeah.
Yeah. Even Destro's not to like issue 8, and then you got all these like it's like the first 20 issues have all these little first appearances, which are still very cheap,
True.
Yeah, G.I. Joe does have unlimited copies, but it sells as soon as you put it out. It sells. It's like first show it'll go to, first 3 hours.
This is true.
Someone will come grab it, because if you're talking about like a VF or like an NM minus or whatever copy, you're just south of $200, and for your average person to come over, it's good value for the dollar. G.I. Joe 1. It's a great cover on the book. There's a newsstand version of it too, if I'm not mistaken.
There is.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't see Legends of Zelda #1. Don't like. They're not around a lot. They fly just like those early Mario books. But one thing we're talking about backstage is you got to know your printings on this book, because there's a bunch of different printings on it, and there's like little price differentials and where certain things are on the cover that you have to know. Oh, who's
look at
flashing
Hyper.
the top?
And it's the no price
With the
variant.
flax.
The
no
price
price variant.
variant. So I guess we know what Hyper's choosing. Obviously,
Hyper.
picking G.I. Joe.
My birthday's in July, and I know we're meeting up this weekend, so.
All right, well, I'll
I
give you a
think my
nice card
birthday
from
was 3
Hallmark.
weeks ago.
He said, I guess it's some Popeyes.
Hyper, you're gonna know more than me. What printing is that? Because I really don't know.
Okay, so okay, well, let me put up the camera. My room's a mess. That's why my camera is up. Okay, so basically, like, there's 3 different versions of the Zelda comic. There's like the regular print, there is a second print, and then there's a no price variant. The no price variant is actually the scarcer copy.
Oh,
So that's the one that you actually and you actually, even if you're probably looking it up on eBay, you can see by the price difference where the value lies. But the regular print is still no slouch either. And the second print's also kind of catching some heat, because the saying is
I think
like
all of them, yeah.
because it's like when you can't get the first or the second, you go with the next best thing. So even the second print is still a worthy. Actually, I do have a second print CGC, which I think is actually at Face's location. So.
Oh wow!
And
so now, Hyper, what would a copy of the no price variant? What would a copy, like a nice copy, go for roughly? Like what's the range?
Like a raw copy, you're looking
like
at
a raw copy.
Oh,
yeah,
like a graded.
No, like a raw one. Like, can you pick them up around the $200 price point?
You could probably pick it up like a $200 price point will probably get you maybe in that fine VF kind of range. But if you want to get into the near mid territory, you're probably
way higher, right?
Like $1,000 or something like that.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Because that's the thing with those in the Mario books, is because it was kids. We were kids back then. You know what I mean? 92, 93. I'm 41. And like I would have been 13, and like you'd see them, they're like, oh, this isn't gonna be worth anything. My X-Men books are gonna be worth something. And you see a lot of them in kind of crummier condition because it was all like young kids that were part of that generation.
Yeah, that's the like the copy that I got, and like BC's gonna hate me for this because I beat him to the punch. I actually got this from our local LCS for $75.
No,
it's by no means it's a near mint copy. I would say it's almost like it's like a more like a mid-grade fine copy, but for $75 you can't actually find that kind of price online. So that was a steal.
Yeah, but then you got tax and shipping and all that garbage. So your $75 book is now $140.
True.
Yeah,
and then at shows you just don't see them because they get scooped up so quick.
Yeah. And the thing is, with video game books in general, LCSs generally don't know the nuances. Like I don't think my LCS knew the no price variance versus the price variance. So basically, they probably priced it according to what they thought maybe was like the regular print variant. Like if they knew the value of a no price variant, I'm sure that price would have actually changed on the sticker. So that's the thing with video game comics. That's why I tell people that you'll be surprised that like like properties like X-Men, Spider-Man, like some of your mainstream properties, most shops are well aware of the keys and the first appearances. Get into like niche stuff like video game comics. Unless the LCS is pretty savvy, you can get away with some good deals on some of these hard to find books.
No, good point. You know what I find getting some attention to is those old Pokemon comics, like the Viz ones from the 90s. Yeah. Those don't stick around long either because they're also pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And Hero
people chasing those.
To answer your question, the staples are actually pretty clean. It doesn't look like there's any rust on them.
Hero says he'll give you $5 for it.
All right, so we'll just go ahead and chalk Hyper down for G.I. Joe 1, right?
Yeah, and to AOA's point, you can probably find G.I. Joe 1 on previews this week on FOC.
All right, Nefarious, which one are you taking?
Man, I go with Zelda. Like, I have nothing against G.I. Joe. I don't see those Zeldas, man. So to me, it's a scarcer book.
I agree. I mean, it was Marvel. The print run on the G.I. Joe #1 is probably ridiculous. So, yeah.
No, it's not ridiculous. It's unlimited.
Yes, unlimited. But yeah, I would go with the Zelda. I mean, even with the G.I. Joe, like you don't see very many people selling like the lower grade copies. I mean, it's always like in the 9+, 9.8s, or I see them all the time in the Zeldas. Even like the 7.5s in a first print, like people will buy them because like the print run was low. The scarcity of it all is the selling point. So yeah.
Guys, look at Left Arrow's comment there. He goes, I think G.I. Joe is cooler because the book actually predates the cartoon. Now, I did not know that. You know what I mean? I know that the whole thing was like reverse engineered where they're like, okay, we're going to make the toys, then we're going to make the cartoon sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't know that this came before the cartoon. Very cool. Interesting fact I did not know.
Absolutely. Yeah, and contrary to what people may think, the Zelda book is not his actual first appearance. His first appearance actually is in like a mini preview comic, which is even much more expensive because that's even a lot harder to find because it's not even a regular comic size.
Huh?
Yeah, it's called something Nintendo Entertainment System. It's one of those little. It's not even a regular comic size comic.
It's like a little ash can or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
Now, guys, speaking of Nintendo books, you see how like a Nintendo Power 198 sold for like $100,000 at auction?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Freaking crazy, man.
Insane.
They are ridiculous.
All right. I can't add anything that you guys haven't already said about this trade scenario because you guys are absolutely right. I gotta go with Zelda all day on this. I grew up as a 90s kid and Zelda was my shit. Maybe I just missed the boat a little bit for G.I. Joe. That was more the 80s. But Zelda was going hard in the 90s. So I gotta stick to my guns.
Right. And Heroes just answered it. It's called Nintendo Comics Sneak Preview. That's what it was called.
Hero pulling up the knowledge.
I mean, in general, I love Zelda and I love G.I. Joe. But you remember that incredibly horrible animated series we were talking about earlier for Zelda? Do you remember those characters from that?
It wasn't incredibly horrible.
It was.
I wouldn't go
bad.
that
It was
far.
really
do you
bad.
remember? Do you remember the Mario one? That was kind of shit too.
Yeah, it was. It was.
But for
But
the
the
time,
Zelda
it was amazing.
This is
I will
those
give it that.
characters. This is those characters specifically, the animated Zelda characters. So, do they even really count? Because I think they try to not really count that as canon, right? So, I don't know.
Hey, don't start discrediting my book.
Listen, I'm trying everything I can. It's a tough call. I'm actually looking for both of them. So, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with the Zelda because it is harder to find ultimately.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I know I can find that G.I. Joe 1 again later. The Zelda, I don't know how many more of those I'll come across because I don't.
Yeah, go to a comic show, you'll see G.I. Joe 1
Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
everywhere. Yeah, you'll have a couple different options.
I had one.
Especially after this weekend, I bet you will.
Right? Yeah, they're definitely gonna be popping up.
Speaking of which, I didn't mention it earlier, but myself, Marvell, Hyper are all meeting up. We're gonna be going to see Mr. Nefarious this weekend.
The whole what? This is wonderful.
I'm still a maybe. I'm still a maybe.
No, he's a definite. He's a definite.
Wait,
man.
it's Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon? When
Sunday all day.
Yeah, 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. Plasterline Shopping Center. Guys, listen, you're like with shopping mall show. You're thinking macrame. You're thinking someone with like a couple old Coke cans from like whenever.
Right.
But no, this is like pound for pound the best one-day comic show in the city. I'm not even lying.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Yeah, like
It's
you're
a good
not
stuff.
allowed. Okay, as a vendor, you're allowed a maximum. This are the rules on me. Okay, 3 6-foot tables, the most you can buy, and they're dirt cheap too. Anyway, you can't run anything in front of them. You can't run walls. You just boxes on tables, no boxes on the floors, whatever. So pack what you can. You know what I mean, guys? You'll see a bunch of boxes behind me. I'm literally trying to like cram as many boxes as possible. There's so many good like sellers, and the organizers, it's the biggest one they've ever done. But the organizers, it's not just comics, a lot of comic people, but other stuff too, like Pokemon, video games, etc. They want to have a mix of like actual dealers and then just random guys that want to sell their stuff, and like because it's at a price point that people can afford to do that. And I was getting stuff like crazy. I was getting like Marvel Spotlight 5s. I'm not even lying. Like low grade copies. I'm surprised Comic Dude wasn't there because he could sniff these deals from a quarter mile. Beats me to them every time. Okay,
he's sniffing something else.
$75 I paid for that. The cover was taped on. I flipped it at a show like 2 shows later, $500. It was crazy. There's good deals. I know good deals. Yeah, Marvel Spotlight 5. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I know. But guys, get down to the show. I'm telling you, it's well worth it. I'm so excited you guys are all coming down.
absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm working it solo because Lieutenant Commander Isaac, my little employee, he's
He's
his own
not
booth.
making her.
No, well, he's got his own booth, man. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
you guys will see him down in Montreal with me. His parents are letting him travel with me down in Montreal. It's gonna be
Nice.
great.
Oh, you're coming to the Montreal Comic Con?
Oh man, I got a 10x20 booth down there.
Nice.
Maxed out 72 credit cards, getting as much inventory as I can for the show. I don't know what is going on with that comment, but hopefully I'm not getting taken
The
out.
long story.
That
been going
was
on
an
for
episode.
shows. I one time stayed in an Airbnb with K-Man because myself and K-Man, we actually worked together as well. And we were staying in a cabin because we were away for work all week. And they called it the doo-doo cabin.
Yeah. Well, no doo-doo cabins for me. But yeah, so anyway, it's gonna be great to see you guys. And it's gonna be I'm working at the club. I work at a club, nightclub. I'm gonna be working till 4 a.m, get home, 8 a.m, out the door. Load it up. But it's so nice. I'm just gonna cruise there all day. And it's not like, I don't know if you guys have seen my setup. I got these freaking big grid walls. You have to like assemble them, lug them around, take them down. It is the worst. But you got to do it. This, you're not allowed to bring a wall. No problem. All I got to do, fold up the tables, back of the van, I'm home.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so listen, what are you guys shopping for at the show?
Power Rangers, Nova.
Oh, geez.
Nova? Are you looking for Nova 1?
If it's higher than a 9.4.
Okay, 1.
Look at this guy.
I have a Nova 1, 9.6.
You take
go.
9.4 in cash.
What's that? Do I take 4 in cash?
9.4 and in cash on the side.
Well, maybe. I didn't realize this was Swap Shop tonight. But anyways, we can get at me afterwards. I also have an
Really
8.5. Yeah, it's, all sorts of fun stuff coming in. Okay, what's everyone else looking for at the show? A Hulk 141. What's a Hulk? What's in that book?
I'm not sure about
Is it
that one.
Hero, what's significant? That's how I identify my Hulkies. Is that like first Samson or something? Doc Samson?
Ooh.
Or is that the Rocket Raccoon, like an early Rocket Raccoon or something?
Oh, could it be Rocket Raccoon? No, Rocket
Doc
Raccoon.
Samson. Yeah. That's what it was.
Doc Samson.
Dog Samson.
Yeah. But you know what? That's a book. I don't have one of those. But that's another book that'll just like fly. It's a cool one. Yeah,
Honestly,
I like that. Okay, other books people are looking for. It's fun talking about shopping lists. You know what book kind of interests me right now, guys, is all the Thrawn stuff, because how I'm looking at it right now is Ashoka Tano trailer just dropped. Thrawn's like, he's gonna be the next kind of baddie, the next like Kylo Ren for the next, I don't know, 2 years. So I know he just got hot. You know how it goes. News breaks, Thrawn, blah, blah, blah. It gets super hot. Now it's kind of coming down a little bit where you can kind of find some deals on them online. Everyone's running them. You know when like news drops and you'll just see all the eBay listings move to like no reserve auctions, right? And then it kind of peaks and then people are like, I don't care about that anymore. I'm on to like the next thing. Spider-Verse came out. So you can catch some of these auctions finishing low and get some nice copies of this book. So I kind of like Thrawn right now.
Thrawn is actually kind of, I think, underrated as a threat in the Star Wars community, and that's surprising to say because he's probably one of the biggest threats that there is, out there, I guess, right now that has potential in the future. But the way that they left him at the end of the Rebel series, like, you don't know exactly where he's going to end up. So if he somehow, created an opportunity there and ended up back at like the Chiss Ascendancy where he originally came from, his threat level goes up insanely high. If he's coming back with something like that. So they could be setting him up for an even potential bigger future in the Star Wars universe than people expect.
Yeah. They said what's going to happen is what they've kind of publicly rolled out is that there's going to be he's going to show up in Ashoka, then he's going to be relevant in Mandalorian's next season, and then the Mandalorian has a movie scheduled that it's going to be like the end of the Mandalorian saga and like the big showdown with Thrawn. So he's going to be around for a couple years anyways over this next like I guess phase of the
next
Star Wars
story arc. Yeah,
like Mandalorian.
What they do with him. So.
Yeah. So okay. So what do you guys think? You think you buy into Thrawn, or you think you buy into Ashoka right now? If you're buying books,
Thrawn. I would say time's already passed. You should have bought into her fucking couple of years ago.
Well, sure. Well, you should have bought into the Thrawn a couple years ago, and no one really cared about him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Exactly.
At this point, because a lot of the mindset is unless it's like a Darth Vader or a Thanos or whatever, don't invest in villains. Like if you want it for your PC, like whatever. But if you're looking to make money, it's only a certain type of villain that really like a Joker or like Doctor Doom or something like that. But a lot of these villains are kind of flavors of the week. Now, do you think Thrawn is going to be a flavor of the week, or do you think they're going to keep on going back to the well with them and keep on doing different time periods with Thrawn like they're doing with Vader? How big do you think Thrawn can get? Face sounds like he's got faith in him.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Thrawn is probably the safer overall investment, just because, like, there's at least a good portion of the Star Wars, community that doesn't necessarily buy comics as, like, it's not the go-to in their hobby. But being that they are Star Wars fans, whenever things like these happen, this happens, they will, sometimes go after like the first appearance of Ahsoka or the first appearance of, some of these other, characters that are starting to show up, like Mando. They might go after something like that, whatever it might be. So Thrawn has cheaper buy-in. I mean, Ahsoka is not exactly in the price range of just everyone at this point. So, I think he's probably got a little more potential just because of that, And again, I don't know what people are expecting out of Thrawn. You know, a lot of people might be expecting a sort of flavor of the week type thing, and I do feel like he is going to be much bigger than that.
Still be
I'm
interesting.
going with more of the actual, like, barring the whole Disney's vision of either character. I'm just gonna go with the actual comic itself. You know, Thrawn was a Dark Horse property versus Ahsoka was a Marvel property, and just by the printing alone, like I think there's actually a lot more copies of, you know, Darth Vader #3 versus Star Wars Heir to the Empire #1. Just based on the prices of the 9/8 of the Darth Vader #3 right now. I think right now you could still get a 9/8 probably for, in the Canadian price range. I think it's almost like 350 to 400, which is not bad for a 9/8, to be honest. For considerably,
I think Darth Vader 3's Dr. Aphra.
Yeah,
oh shoot, I'm mixing up. See, okay,
And then no, so
Yeah.
she's Star Wars Clone Wars.
yeah. You're looking at
#1,
Clone Wars. That was Dark
2008.
Horse also.
I'm
yeah.
thinking of Afra. Sorry, I'm thinking of Afra. My bad.
Aphra's another character that's a lot of people are hot on right now, man. All this Star Wars stuff. Listen, I love Star Wars. I think they're gonna keep on going and going and going with it. I think Aphra's. It's only a matter of time before she shows up too.
Yeah, I mixed up Afra and Ashoka. Yeah, because you're right. Clone Wars 1. Yeah, that's the book that. Okay, in that case, okay, that's an even.
Oh, there's big versions of that book. So you got the newsstand that's like 7,098. It was crazy last year. It was like 15,098. Then you have a special edition, and like I don't know, maybe someone could educate me. I don't know what the special edition, like what's the difference on it.
It's limited to like a set number of copies. You're talking about that. It's like a completely different cover, right?
I don't even know what the cover is on that.
Yeah, it's limited to like a ridiculously low print. I think it's like less than a. It could be like in a few thousands or less than sub-1,000, but it's the print count. Like it had a finite print count that made it actually that much more expensive.
Yeah,
So it wasn't even a ratio variant. It was an actual.
That's like that like the previous exclusive. Like think of the Venom, the Venom #3, the black and white one, like that.
Venom #3, the black and
Which
white.
is
No.
I know what you're talking about. It just has their little previews exclusive.
Yeah, it's not so much like that. I mean, yeah, that was also exclusive, but I think that was exclusive to like 4,000 copies. I think that actually had a lower
Almost like
print run than
this
that.
was actually, I think, almost like a shop exclusive, right?
It was one of those situations where you could only get it in a certain, like, it wasn't a case where every shop had this book. It was like,
hang on. I'm pulling up some info here. What is it saying here? No, it doesn't. The Clone Wars 1 Special Edition Dark Horse 100 publication date. Yeah, you're right. It's a completely different cover. You got Ashoka riding on what looks like Anakin driving a land speeder. She's cutting down some of these little troopers.
Yeah, that's the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was an information blurb on it in the preview. It doesn't tell me how he got it though. But yeah, neat. I've never seen that book before. Limited to 1,000 copies. There you go.
Right on.
So no wonder I haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
Anybody's seen it.
Yeah. So see, okay. So
Only 1,000.
according to this blurb I'm reading, 10 copies of that book was distributed to 100 retailers via lottery. So there you go.
Oh.
Ow,
Yeah,
ow.
you know, it's one of these books that it's so scarce. That's what's holding it back from jumping up in value because it, like, you got a benchmark from 3 years ago. Another book in that grade is probably not going to sell for 5 more years. And like, oh, it's only 6,900. Maybe we go around the same price. I don't know.
Yeah, but Hero kind of hit it in the mark. It was sort of like the Disney. What is it that first Mickey Mouse in a Marvel comic issue?
Marvel.
That celebration issue where certain shops got it or something like that. It's something of that sort.
Interesting.
All right,
guys. Well, I think that's the show we got for tonight. So
What a heck of a good time, guys. Thanks for having me on again. It was
man. We appreciate having you coming on and helping us out, you know.
well, listen, you might get flagged right now. I had my top off middle of the show.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's
Not for the tops, yes, but for the flags, we've had videos taken down since.
I think I think we're already gonna get flagged for dude saying that he pulled out tits and tats.
I love it, man. You know what I mean? Wonderful.
all right, dude. What do we got coming up?
Let me pull my calendar up here because it's been a busy last few weeks and next few weeks coming up. All right, so this Thursday is the Hall Show. It's back. It's bigger than ever. Guys, we got hauls. I got garage sale finds, yard sale finds, a couple pickups. Who else is hopping on? I think Face, you said you were hopping on, eh?
Yes, sir.
Eh? Yeah, okay. Face is hopping on. I believe BC is hopping on, Blackground Comics. I think Pacino and Marvel.
I'll show up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a stacked night, guys. You're going to want to be there. We all got great hauls. One thing to remember, though, is this show is actually going to be from 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern time, just so we can accommodate the fathers of the group.
Done.
And, they got to put the kids down to bed, so they can only make it a little later. So we're going to go 9 to 10 o'clock for the Hall Show this week. Other than that, yeah, exactly. Baker's on point right here. We got Royally Fucked coming up this Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, usually until 1:30 p.m. We're going to be going over Previews of the World, guys. We're going to let you know what we're pre-ordering, what we're picking up, what we're not picking up, and just kind of what to keep your eye out for, any kind of hot or interesting books. Other than that, we have Retrospect next Monday. So instead of this regular Monday show, we're going to do Retrospect next week. Nefarious, I mentioned it last time when I brought this up. You are more than welcome to join us for Retrospect.
Yes,
I think you'd be killer with this segment, man. You're huge into the Silver Age books and just older books in general. You got knowledge where I don't.
I have several of them, so
yeah.
Well, I'm honored, fellas. I'm honored.
What's that?
I'm honored.
Fuck yeah, right on. So that's going to be next Monday. We're actually going to put a post out tomorrow on our Instagram page. Basically, just putting it out there. You guys pick the years. We'll pick the titles. It's going to be for the cover date of, what are we looking at here? June.
May.
So it's going to be June books.
No, we're doing May.
Curious Rex.
May? Yeah. Are we doing May?
Baker? Check with Baker in chat. I think I told him May. Because I think the last one we did was April.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Baker, if you just want to get
He'll pop it up here in chat.
Let us know there. Other than that, we do have Specs Files starting up, guys. So if you haven't heard about that yet, we're starting a new segment here, and I'm actually going to let Face kind of dive into it a little bit and give a little kind of explanations so you guys, see what it's all about.
All
right, so here we go. It is May for this Retrospect, he says.
Okay.
And so you were talking about Specs Files. So we got a new show coming. Obviously, it's going to have a little bit of a theme to it that you may or may not be able to kind of gather from the title and everything like that. But what we're going to do with it is we're going to actually look at the important key books from different series that we enjoyed reading in the past. And as we get further along, we're going to open it up to the people that are watching to actually pick what we check out and what we feature on the show. So
hell yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. And one more announcement, if you guys haven't seen on Instagram yet, we're going Hollywood, baby. We made it. We've decided we're gonna go multi-platform. We're gonna try to connect beyond Instagram and YouTube.
OnlyFans.
Sorry,
I said OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's next. That's next. No, we've created a Facebook page for the Comic Kingpins, just for anybody who may not be on IG or just may not be able to check it all the time.
Jeez, I don't even want to.
That's the only fan.
Oh, no.
I don't even want to know how Dan was able to validate that, but whatever. Let's keep it.
Don't ask questions.
But yeah, we got a Facebook page now, so if you guys want to go check that out, we'd really appreciate you guys, giving it a like and a follow. Just search Comic Kingpins; it'll come up, our logo, and we're just posting updates, start times, some of our hauls, just a couple little different things. Just keep everybody connected.
You know what? I'm actually feeling a little relieved right now because I saw this pop up on my feed earlier in the week, and I'm like, oh shit, how am I not following these guys already? Like, you probably think I'm an asshole,
Created a
thank the Lord. I didn't want to be like, oh hey, just I was just trying to hoping to slide in there. You guys wouldn't notice. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been following you all along,
Yeah. And remember, it's the Comic Kingpins, not the Comic Kingdoms.
Yeah, if you know about that, It's
if you know, you know. All right, that's it,
All
guys.
right, Hyper. You know what to do.
All right. Well, listen. If you're tired of grabbing tits and tats from your yard sale and you need a place of refuge, visit your local library.
Peace.
That's your guys.
Love it.
Later.